Right. I don't even know if this is going to be worth recording. Well, we'll see, but okay. The main thing is we're practicing for this midterm. I want you to be prepared. Um, I do want to get you solutions. I've talked to a couple people have chatted me or texted me or whatever. I do want to get you solutions to the practice. Um, but I also want to make sure that you have a chance to think about things before you actually just have solutions right in front of you. Um, so there's so there's a lot of the priorities are that I need you guys to be preparing and practicing. I also need to make it as easy as possible for you guys to prepare and practice. Um, we won't be able to accomplish both perfectly today. Um, I um, I will watch very carefully what we do and watch the pacing and everything. And um, I'm aware that there may be a little bit of a time pressure, and I may take it into my own consideration to maybe do something about that time pressure. That's a dangerous thing to say, but let's all work very hard today to do the best we can. And then again, also, if you're not worried about this at all, then you shouldn't be. I think I may be worried about some other things that are getting in my way right now. But anyway, we're going to work and prepare and study today while I try to get you some more answers as well. I'm I want to do the working and preparing and studying before I do too much talking. If if the preparing and studying and stuff goes particularly well, um, okay, I'm overthinking this. What I'm really trying to say is, for good or for bad, some of you may really like this, some of you may not. Some of you may not like it while it's happening, but really after. All what I'm trying to say and defend, which I shouldn't, is that are going to do is go into breakout rooms for a while, and we're going to keep cranking through this practice exam. Not necessarily for the whole period, but certainly for the beginning of the period. I know there are mixed feelings about breakout rooms. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms, but you have every right. If you're in a breakout room and you want to just work quietly by yourself, that is totally fine. I mean, nobody else should make you talk with them or whatever. I'm not trying to force interaction, but I am trying to force the ability to interact. I'm also trying a little bit to be careful about how much in your way or not I am. So your goal, once I put you in breakout rooms, at least for the beginning of this period, your goal is to work on the practice exam. Some of you may have worked on it a lot already, in which case I really think that you should turn to each other and trade answers and be like, what did you get for this one? Or I had a trouble with this. Can you help me with that? Like, I really think you should take advantage of each other and see where you're at. If you've done different things or if you've got similar answers, whatnot. Again, the more you've already done, the more you should really try to test it out with other people. And please believe me on this too. Like, the whole sharing and caring thing, or the whole working with others, I am really a big fan, with the lab groups and all that. I'm not a big fan because I think you like it. I know a lot of you hate it. And let me be really clear, I super hated it when I was a student, even when I was a graduate student, especially when I was in groups where we had to work together and then share a grade, as you do in lab groups. I hated that. It's but it turned out it was probably one of the most important things that happened to me in graduate school. Oh, hi. Hello, no, hell yeah. I hated it, and I know some of you hate it. I know you particularly hate sharing responsibility for a grade. Well, let me remind you that that part is not what's happening today. When I put you in groups, whatever you do in those groups, you're still end up taking your own exam and getting your own grade on that exam. You're going to just take whatever you want from your friends and leave the rest, so to speak. Okay. But the thing about working with other people is it is so much more important and beneficial than it is pleasant. It's not always pleasant. I know I'm rationalizing a lot here, but one last thing about this, but the thing about sharing and caring also, so to sharing and pairing, whatever you call it, is that what I can really tell you is, if you need help and there's someone there, and they are possibly in a position to give help or even just show you what they got, even if they're bad at explaining it or not nice about explaining it, even seeing what they got, of course, is very helpful. But two more things about that. One, I think you all know at this point that there's ways of getting help from people, even if you don't like them, or even if they're not nice about it, which sometimes does happen. You can still separate their personality from the content. But the other real secret of all of this, the real reason I make a big deal of this, and we do it all the time, the thing that I did not understand until I became a teacher, is that the person who usually ends up getting the most help from these scenarios is the one that's trying to help other people. That is, being forced to explain what you did to someone else is actually you're going to be the one that benefits humongously, probably even more than the person trying to listen to you. The truth is, any physics I know at this point, or any physics that I feel confident of, is only because of all these years that I've spent being forced to try to break down my physics and explain it. That's how I learn it, really. Okay. And last thing on this, when you take this exam that I'm going to get from you, I think I've warned you about this, but your main goal in the exam is to break everything down and explain it to me and really prove that you really get it. So actually practicing that on another person is actually the best practice you can get for an exam like this. Okay, so I'm rationalizing a lot because I do know that people don't like working in groups a lot of the time, or especially when they're stressed. So again, as a last resort, let me say that once I put you all in these breakout rooms, if you just want to be quiet and deal on your own, like no one else should force you to, like, then that's your business, and the other people should leave you alone. I mean, okay, and their grade won't be affected. And if anybody quietly, while we're in the breakout rooms, if anybody quietly wants to send me a chat and just say, could I possibly go into another room? I probably won't ask why or anything. I'll probably just honor that, because these are not lab groups. These are not permanent, blah, blah. So if you're in a room that's just not working for you, either because there's not enough people or blah, 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 I may randomly switch people around too, just to keep it random so that no one is insulted or thinks that it's because of anybody in particular. All right. So there's no harm, no foul. If at a certain point, after about 15 minutes or so, you're really trying to work, but something's wrong with your room, just quietly tell me, can I have another room? And I'll probably switch like 4 people. So it's, so no one, so it doesn't mean anything necessarily. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. But okay. And then for anybody who just joined in a moment or two, the point is we're going to go into breakout rooms. We're going to be sitting there in the breakout rooms, working on this practice exam. I again suggest that you go in order, start at the beginning and work to the end, but you're working on it. You're trying to share answers, see what you got, blah, blah. I'm still promising that one way or another through all this, you'll get proper answers from me. It's not meant to be an ultimate mystery. I also know that I would like to answer your questions directly and stuff like that. So if this starts becoming a major time crunch, I'm aware of that, and I will possibly make some adjustment to the whole thing accordingly. But I think this is a really important part of the process that has to happen first. Also, quite frankly, I want to make sure that I have my solutions right and legible and corrected and stuff before I give them to you. So I need a little time myself to get this organized. So that's what we're going to do in a minute or two. I'm just going to look in the chat. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, oh, hi. Right. Okay. So again, in a minute or two, we're going into breakout rooms to work on the practice exam. You remember your real exam will be shorter than the practice exam. So also, for example, if I never get to explain like the last problem on the exam or something like that, I will know that, and then I won't put it on the exam or something. I'll be more clear about that before it happens. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And so, right. So on Antonio's question, and I've been very concerned about, this question has come up before and I'm definitely tracking it. To be utterly, yes. So Antonio's question is, will I post solutions after the class? Either I'm posting them in the middle of the class. I might even post them in the middle. Sorry, someone else is here. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Or I'm going to post them right after. But I'm also kind of, I guess, in the back. So yes, let me put it, the most direct, least spazzy way I can say this is, it is still a promise of mine that you're not going to walk into my exam. Well, you're not going to start taking your exam until you've had a sufficient time to have solutions in your possession to the practice. Like, this is not meant to be a mystery. So you are going to get solutions. I am assuming to get them to you by the end of this period. I am saying that, yes, but I'm also, I guess, to be even super honest, I'm saying if something goes wrong in that process for me on this end, then I'm going to adjust your exam accordingly. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So yeah, that is part of the deal. You're not taking this exam until or unless you've seen my solutions to the practice. Because yes, I want you to see what it is that I'm looking for, kind of thing. So yes, I will not leave. The worst thing, well, I don't, if I, yeah, so yeah, I am feeling a little time pressure here, as you can see. So I am a little nervous, but if, I guess the most blunt thing I can say, especially because I think some of you might be a little nervous about that, or maybe I'm making it worse for you. So the most blunt, also spazzy thing I could say is, if I got hit by a truck right now before I gave you those solutions, that would not mean, I don't mean to be gross, but like if all of a sudden I got removed from the scene and you don't have your solutions, what that does not mean is that suddenly now you have to take the test without solutions. It means I'd postpone the test. Okay. I mean, I'm not looking to do that, but that is how much I do mean it, that you will get solutions before you take this thing. And I'm trying to get them to you this period. But I will also say it's super important that you try to work this thing out without the solutions first, right? I mean, that is it. Like, you definitely want to be able to do this thing without solutions. Just that, yes, I will also, okay, so, but that's a totally fair question. So, all that said, in a minute, we're going to go into breakout rooms. Your goal in the breakout room is to, like, if you've done nothing to this point, which I'm not saying that in a chastising way, if you've done nothing, then when you get to the breakout room, open up the practice exam and just start it. Like, start from the beginning. Either start it quietly, if that's the kind of person you are, or you know, or start it with a friend. Either one is fine, but like, just start from the beginning and get going. But then the point is, there you are with a friend. I'm calling it a friend. I mean, maybe it's your worst enemy, but like, you're there with a colleague in the room. You start and then pretend that colleague is me. Like, when you get stuck, be like, dude, do you know what to do here? Like, do you have any idea what Yaverbaum is talking about here? Do you have, and try to work it through, or go on the internet together or whatever, but sort of pretend right now that you're in the middle of the exam. What would you do in the middle of the exam? You would be allowed to do that. You'd be allowed to talk to your friend or go on the web. So do it, but just make sure that you're doing it so that you can get actual understanding into your brain and then down on the paper. Okay, so, and we'll reconvene before the class is over. I mean, I'm not just like leaving you to the wolves, but that's what's going to happen right now. Okay, hang on. So we're going to go to the breakout. What? Whoa. Oh, how many? Okay. Can I just get a quick show of you? Not. Can I just get a show of hands that you understand what we're about to do? Whether or not you can, I just get electronic hands that you understand what we're. Great. Oh, that was very fast. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, that's good. I appreciate it. Okay. So that's fantastic. So what? Oh no. Wait. No, those are the wrong. That did not work. Wait. Wrong rooms. Hold on. Don't ignore those rooms. Ignore those. Wait. Ignore those rooms. Don't go. Oh, and if Melissa, is that a question, or are you just saying you understand? If it's a question, go for it. Or if you're just saying you understand, then that's cool. Thank you.
No, I can't. I keep trying to put the hand down, but it won't go down.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Sorry.
okay, and I can do that for you if it doesn't work in a second. But I don't know why these breakout rooms are not. Hold on, I have to redo these breakout rooms. Hold on a second. Oh, come on. Come on. Hold on. I'm waiting 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Everything is so much fun when it's so much fun. Okay, take two. Here we go. Okay, now okay. Here we go. And these are random, but again, if you have a major problem or so, you don't have to explain what it is. Just let me. But try your room for like everybody your room for like 5 minutes. But then there's an issue. Let me know. But okay, thank you. Okay, thank you guys. Excellent. So we're all just great. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. All right, great. All right. And okay, great, great, great. And Molly and Michelle, you're good. You guys get it. You're going great. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. And Michelle, you're good. Or